As you can see here, I have some time in the beta. I don't really like to spend a lot of time in the beta, but that's because it's like, it's not really the full game, so I don't really get to feel the full experience of it. But I do have opinions on it. Nothing bad. I think this is an amazing beta. Way better than whatever the hell 2042 is. Literally, this beta is better than the full game as of right now than of what 2042 is. But I do have like some things to say about it though. It's like, I don't know. These maps are way too small. All of these maps genuinely feel like rush maps. Even the one with like the snow map with like the jet and the helicopter, like, even that feels like a bigger rush map. Given we still have that new game mode breakthrough, which is basically just rush without the bomb. I don't know, man. Like, I was flying a jet. Like, I'm trying to figure out like all these different aspects to see how every position feels on these maps. Like, I've tried a helicopter, even though I'm terrible at it. I've tried a jet. The jet, it feels like the maps are way too small to be flying in. And I say maps like it's plural, but I feel like the map is just too small to fly in. I don't know how to describe it. Compare that to like Golrod Highway. Compare that to like Dawnbreaker from Battlefield 4. It's just something about it. It's just, it feels too small. And also that too, like the jet just feels so heavy to pilot. Like I've tried to put like the highest sensitivity to my turning speeds on the jet and it still feels so slow. Like even you know what it does? You know what it feels like? It feels like it's a fighter jet. I actually feel like it's an attack jet, and that's probably where my issue lies, because they don't have a second jet option. It's just one jet. So I'm thinking it might just be an attack jet, so that's on me. That's probably why it's so slow at turning. You know, like if it was a little faster, I would have been like, okay, that's a stealth jet. But they just don't tell you. Maybe it's the payload shit, the JDAM on Battlefield 6. Maybe that makes it the attack jet. But man, it feels so slow. And honestly, I can't tell if it's faster or the same speed as Battlefield 4. And I am comparing it to Battlefield 4 because that was our last modern warfare game. It was. I mean, 2042 doesn't count. That's futuristic. You know, like we're not using paragliders. And then we have Battlefield 5 and 1. I'm not counting those, but for some reason, I have something about those jets. Other than that, though, I think the maps are perfectly okay. I think they're fine. I mean, as rush and breakthrough maps, I think they are perfectly okay. But one thing that needs to change about this game, for sure, because I think this is a perfect beta, I think for sure one thing that needs to change is the players. This new influx of players are not Battlefield players. I can promise you that. Join a Battlefield 3 match. Join a Battlefield 4 match. Shit, join a Battlefield 1 match. These players do not play the same way as those people do in those lobbies. And I'll tell you exactly why. Call of Duty brain rot. That is the term I'm using. These players, there's something about them. They just want action, action, action. But they don't want to play objective or play into their roles. For some reason, I don't know why, they're probably so brain rotted from Call of Duty that they think kills are going to get them to the top of the leaderboard. Sometimes that could be true, you know, depending on the game mode. But if we're playing Conquest, Breakthrough, Rush, any of those other ones that aren't like TDM or damn, what's the other one? You get the point. But like, you're not gonna get to the highest spot in the leaderboard just because of kills. And I promise you that. And I'll show. I literally have a picture to prove that. In this game, I literally chose to do a defib only run because I saw something on TikTok where some guy was trying to be like Desmond Doss from, oh my god, what's that movie? It's the war movie. I'll put a picture of it. I can't remember the name, but it was that. So I was like, you know what? That looks pretty fun. Let me do that. And let me tell you, I got one of the top spots on the leaderboard. And that just goes to show, like, you don't need to get kills to get to the top of the leaderboard. If that's what you want, of course, because I know a lot of Call of Duty players play with ego, so like they want to be at the top of the leaderboard, they want the most kills and stuff like that, but that's not how you get there. Because all I did was literally play objective, I stayed alive, and I just rezzed people constantly. And also too, people just don't know how to play these classes, because now that we actually have like class locked like gear and shit like that, these play so much more differently than 2042. This is actually the closest we've been to, you know, the previous installments of Battlefield. So like, you know what, here, let me, I gotta bring out the drawing pad for this one, chat. So in Battlefield's past, right, you have your assault class, you have your support class, you have your engineer class, and you have your recon class, your acer. Usually how it's supposed to go, I would say this is the front line. If this was a perfect Battlefield world where everybody played Battlefield how it's intended to be played, this is how it would go. Recon would be right here, or recon would be right here. Support would be right here, or right here. Actually, no, scratch that. Support would be kind of right here. Assault would be here, or here. Actually, no, scratch that. Assault wouldn't be there, because assault needs to be frontline. And then engineers would be here. So this is enemy side. This is ally. This, in a perfect world, is how Battlefield should be played. This is, if you play these spots, this is how you're supposed to be. So given this is for when you're in a vehicle as an engineer. Other than that, engineers, you're right here with the vehicles. You need to be here in the vehicle. You need to be here repairing the vehicle, or you need to be here taking care of the vehicles. That's just how it is, all right? Because without you guys, how else are we supposed to get rid of the vehicles? You are literally in the heavy armor. You are the cover that the assaults go behind to push up to the front line and take care of the infantry. Because a lot of the times, yes, as the engineer, you can take care of the infantry because you have the weaponry for it. But you need to be the ones to be pushing up, paving the way for the rest of the team, taking care of the other heavy armors if the other engineer infantry can't. Assault, you're there. You're stacking people with ammo. You're stacking this guy with ammo, and you're stacking this guy with ammo too, because he has an LMG, so he's gonna be suppressing. So you can push up and kill. Now, supports, you're going to be either on the front line with the assaults, or you're going to be right behind them. So when the other assaults push up with the engineers, you can be right there to get them back up and get them back into the fight. Now, your position, you're not going to be dying. You're going to try to not die. That's why you have an LMG, because the assault guns, yes, the first like 1 to 5 bullets are accurate. Now, you can say the same thing for the supports with the LMG, but honestly, because you have a bigger mag size, every bullet past like maybe the 10th, it's going to be a lot better for you to spray. So that's why you're going to be fully auto. It doesn't matter how much ammo you use, because your assault is going to be restocking you. And then because of that, because they're restocking you, you're going to pay them back with heals and revives. And then recons, you're going to be right there on the side. You're going to be trying to get some picks off. But keep in mind, recon, your main purpose is not to get kills. Your main purpose is to recon. Do you hear me? Recon, which is short for reconnaissance. Reconnaissance means that you're going to be spotting the enemy. You're going to be spotting the enemy. Because these guys are going to be pushing up so hard with the engineers, some guys might push past that. Enemy team might just snake around. And look who's right here. The recon. You're going to spot this guy, and even though the assaults are pushed up a little bit, supports might be able to get that pick. Boom. That's how it's supposed to be played. It's simple. And you know what? You don't, as a recon, you don't even need to be spotting like that, because guess what? I actually don't know if this is going to be in the base game or not, but in previous Battlefields, you were able to use a laser designator. This could be for your friendly vehicles that have lock-on targeting on their weaponry, and usually it'll kind of look like something like this. That means that you don't need to wait until you're locked on. It's already locked on because they're laser designated. So all you need to do is immediately shoot, and boom, target is cooked. Like, your whole point is to help. You are literally the main backbone of the team because you're spotting everybody. Because let's say if we're in a building, door's right here, your teammate is right here, enemy is right here. Let's say he goes around and he goes this way, but he like kind of lags behind a little. So let's draw that. He kind of lags behind. He doesn't go as fast. Let's say he's like about right here moving. This enemy is going to come right here. You marked him like right here. Boom. He could just simple as that. That's how it goes, guys. That's just how it is. You Call of Duty players don't know that, and that's fine. You guys are new to this. It's understandable. But you guys got to know this. You guys got to know this stuff, bro, because I'm telling you, when the real Battlefield sweats hop on, when they actually see that this is a good game, I promise you, those Battlefield 4 servers, those Battlefield 3 servers, all those other good Battlefields, those servers are going to be empty, and I'm telling you, they're going to come and they're going to show you who are the better players, who's going to be getting that win at the end of the day. I'm telling you, they don't play. I still play in those lobbies today, and I'm letting you know, they're not to be fucked with. Those 30-year-old dads, 40-year-old dads that are in Battlefield will dog on those 40-year-old dads in Call of Duty. They're just like that. I'm telling you. I see it. Shit, and you know what? If you don't even believe me, just for proof, you can watch any YouTube video. I promise you, there's people out there. They purposely are like 80 years old, 70 years old flying these jets, and they are a lot better than you are. There's a lot better tank players out there than you are. But yeah, that's my main rant. Honestly, it is literally just the players that I have an issue with in this game. It's pretty spooky. I'm not gonna lie. Not given it is the Call of Duty brain rot, you know, like, but it just sucks to see that, like, whenever you have these games where, like, you go down and you see, like, 30 medics walk past you, it's so tragic. In every game that I join, it is a coin flip as to see whether your medics will revive you every time or medics will just stand around you, revive the person next to you, and just run away from you. I see it every time. Because I'll let you know right now, in Battlefield 1, those medics are actually the IRL Desmond Doss. Like, they will go out of their way to get you. They will run into that field without smokes to come and get you. And keep in mind, that game doesn't have a drag mechanic for revives. Yeah, it's just, don't worry. I know as soon as the full game comes out, you know, the game will just naturally filter out those types of players. But as of right now, because I hit the challenges and stuff like that, I'm just waiting for the next beta so I can get the next set of challenges, and then because of that, I'll just spend the rest of my days on Battlefield 4 preparing. Actually, no, scratch that, because the Season 3 of First Descendants just came out. I gotta actually see that. I've updated my game, and I just have not logged in since. But yeah, anyways, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the Battlefield 6 beta. I'm actually really loving this so far. It's just, obviously, the players are a little weird, but I want to see different game modes, to be honest. I want to see like a hardcore game mode. I want to see how that is, even though I don't really like it. I want to see rush. I want to see air superiority. I want to see all these different types of matches. But other than that, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.